there you are. What a magnificent mirror this is. It's very, very heavy. A friend of mine has just sold it to me for £50. It's worth every penny. He said it came from a theatre where it's used for spotlights. Look at the size of it, and it's very heavy. But a marvellous thing for a theatrical spotlight. And the distortions you get for are just wonderful. Extraordinary faces. And, oh, waving, and I don't know what else. Extraordinary. And you can get ones with different focal lengths, too. Get some very, very strange effects. The fun about this thing, though, is as well as being a good optical toy, it's also a good toy for dynamics. Well, for, you know, making things roll about. I think of planetary motion, like that's going roughly like the Earth going around the sun in the middle there. But also you can get, rather like comets, you can get ones going across each other like that. That's a lovely effect. If we're getting very clever, we can just about get a third one in. Let's try it. That one there, that one there, that one there, that one. Oh yes, look at that. And they don't quite clash. They nearly do, but don't quite clash. Marvellous. He also suggested I should try doing it with half balls. That one is a little half ball, which is very strange. Something like rolling it around there, or on the, I think it goes on the outside like that. That's right. And you get some very strange effects when it does some peculiar optical things at the end. Ooh, that's good. So this has been a lot of fun. It's a brand new toy for my collection, and I think it's wonderful. So the subject really is curved mirrors, and there's lots of them available in the shops. For instance, this is one I've had for many, many years. It's for very small children, really. It's like a little clown. It's got two sides to it, so children can look from both sides. But as you distort, as you push them down on this little bow tie, it makes the little bit of mirror plastic here distort outwards towards you or distort away from you. I think well, I'll try it both ways, in fact. This way it's coming towards me, and it's okay-ish, but not quite so much fun as the one which is when you've got it curving away from you. It makes things look much more interesting, I think. It's a lovely effect, that. The children can put it up between their faces and both laugh at the distortion they're getting to their faces from the two sides, here and here. It's a nice little toy for small children. Also for children, this beautiful little object, the infinity mirrors, storyscope. There's the actual story is on this bit of a cylindrical bit of cardboard with a very strange distortions, and all the words that are mirror writing, you can't read them. The idea is, in order to read and enjoy this, is you push it through this little box which contains a parabolic mirror. This is a parabola. And from the back end, when you put it through, what the words start at the beginning, the word start suddenly comes into play. As you start pushing it through, it magnifies them and corrects them, and you can then read it forwards. And as you go through bit by bit, it gives you a little storyline, telling you all about little space men. Very strange, all the way to the far end. It's a lovely way of giving them a storyline with a curved mirror. Until the very end, it drops out when it's finished. What a bit of fun that is, isn't it? A storyscope. Also for small children, these are from a large furniture designer, and they're put up into the children's bedroom, into the nursery. They're just sheets of aluminium, and they give extraordinary effects because they can get, it's like the Fairground mirrors, you can get some wonderful, strange, distorted effects from these funny curves. There's 3 or 4 they had in the series. I think this was the other one which I quite enjoyed. It's all ripples exactly as I see in Fairground when I look at those crazy hall of crazy mirrors. And this is something children can enjoy every time they go in their bedroom. What a nice idea that is. Here's something rather more sophisticated for adults. What is it? Strange looking thing. That looks very much like a parabolic mirror. What's this thing in the middle though? Well, it's been parked there because it should be like that. It's a spring that sticks up in the air. Can you guess it? You need a hot sun, and this, which I'm putting in, is a roll of paper, but that could be a cigarette, and that's the idea, is it's a cigarette lighter. And when you light it up with a strong beam from the sunlight, the sun focuses exactly on the bottom of the spring where the bit of tobacco is and ignites it. So it's a cigarette lighter, but a solar one. Can I have a light, love? Well, wait for the cloud to clear. One of those situations. But it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Here's a marvellous book which I've obtained quite a few years ago. This was See and Then Saw. It's produced in Switzerland. That's right. It's got a number of optical illusions which are very well produced. Several pages of optical illusions. But the interesting thing is they have, and this is the only time I've ever come across it, images for conical anamorphism, it's called, which is extraordinary. It's one of the pages. Maybe that's the last page. So here's the conical anamorphism. That is a heart. And for this you need to make up a little cone of mirror plastic, and it's a conical one. It's not a cylindrical one, which is the typical one. What happens now is very strange. Is this is a white heart. When you put this exactly in the middle of the white heart and bring it forward and look directly down on the apex, on the tip of the cone, two things happen. One is the heart changes colour to red, and secondly it turns upside down. What on earth's going on there? It's distorting the whole of the outside into a red heart. Very strange. So you have a white heart there, put the cone on exactly in the middle, and it transforms magically into a red heart, and the other way up. The second one is even more bizarre, because that looks like a bit of, I don't know, modern art. But when you put this on, I think it has to be this way around actually. You get an effect of a kind of club. It's like in the suit of cards, a club, but it's a green club with three sort of nodules on it. Very strange effect. And the last one is even more mysterious. What on earth can this be? Very strange. They look basically like eyes of a frog, I think. Let's put the conical anamorphic mirror on it and see what happens. Well, you could just about make out a face. The two eyes come into perspective, the two ears right at the edge suddenly become in perspective. You can actually see a person's face. It's a bit rough because the cone is fairly ancient. I think it's lost a bit of reflectivity, but it still works. I'm very pleased that I've got such an extraordinary thing. So a book which has got conical anamorphism, and that's a real rarity. Here's another very strange device which a friend of mine made. A magic mirror mug. This is really a bit of technical magic, I think. In the top end here it says, mirrors reverse images, mirrors reverse images. True, true, true. But we're talking about curved mirrors. So now you look at the bottom at the far side, and I've illuminated, you'll see that it's saying, but not images in mugs. But not images in mugs. What's going on there? Well, now you turn back to the first side and notice that there's a bit of what they call platinum luster there, which is the kind of mirror effect. And what happens is now you can read the words, but not images in mugs. Normally, it's not been reversed. What's happening there? Mirrors have to reverse writing. What's actually happening is the mirror does reverse the writing, but the curved mirror re-reverses it. It reverses it a second time and brings it back to the normal perspective. Very strange, interesting effect. All done from a mug. Wonderful idea. And the last item to show you is, again, it needs a curvature for this, as our old friend the magic mirror, which we've had a lot of fun with over the years. This has to be curved. There's no image in it, not visible. There is actually an image, but hidden. You'll see it in a moment. But this has got an interesting bit of brass work on the back, and it's been invented in China about 2,000 years ago. To make this work, what we're going to do is we're going to shine it onto this, which we used for the white balance, a nice bit of card we use for the white balance when we're setting up for the film. So we're going to turn on the lights, and I'll set the mirror so it's picking up the light on the screen here, very, very faint screen. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this card, this bit of card we use for the white balance, up into perspective. And there's the laughing Buddha, a large fat tubby Buddha with a sort of halo around his head, in perfect perspective too, extraordinary. And yet when you looked in the mirror, there's absolutely nothing visible there. How can it be? Well, there's a lot of papers about how this works. It's magnified slightly, but that's the best focus I can get for it. This is extraordinary, isn't it? So I think these mirrors, well, curved mirrors especially, have a lot of fun in them. Perhaps it's because space itself is curved. Oh, what do you think?